Where your treasure is, there will your heart be also. God has given us unlimited treasures in His Word. Every time we open it, we can discover a new treasure or admire an old one. What will we find today? Let's dig in. Here's Carla Early with Treasure Hunt in the Word.
Several years ago, I spoke to a pastor about how he teaches, because I really learned a lot from the few sermons I'd heard from him. He said two of his methods were to get his listeners to see things from different perspectives and to analyze the characters and attributes of God in the story. For example, we usually see yesterday's story about Jesus cleansing the temple from Jesus' perspective and get all the whys and wherefores of it. But what about seeing it from the Jewish ruler's perspective? They already felt threatened by Jesus and his teaching. But this act of authority, Jesus coming in like he owned the place, which he did, and throwing out all they had set up, ruining their business for the day. How dare he? Who did he think he was? And what were the disciples thinking and feeling? Were they shocked by Jesus' actions? Did they help him turn the tables over and herd the sheep out? Or did they stand back and watch, stunned by what their master was doing? How about the people? Some had come from far away. Did they think, it's about time somebody's doing something about this? The temple should be a place of worship. Or did they just back away from this crazy guy and wonder where they could get an approved lamb for their Passover feast? How would I have reacted? As I entered the temple with my money each year, would my spirit fill with anger at what the temple had become? Or would I have just accepted it as the way things were? There's plenty of things in our society that should fill our spirit with holy anger that Jesus demonstrated. Things that our culture has proclaimed to be normal and accepted, but completely go against God's word. The second thing that the pastor suggested was to analyze the character and attributes of God in a story. This is a unique story in that we see Jesus not as the meek servant, but in a rather surprising way. He's angry. John's Gospel tells of an earlier Passover when Jesus did the same thing. He adds a detail that Jesus took the time to make a whip to drive the money changers and merchants out. Far from a holy temper tantrum, this was a deliberate act on Jesus' part, a decisive statement of, God does not approve what you are doing. It shows Jesus' passion for his relationship with those who worship him, about the purity of his temple, but also about the purity of our hearts. He shows himself to be powerful. Notice the Jewish rulers are afraid to do anything to him. Even when he accused them and said, "It is written, my house shall be called a house of prayer, but you have made it into a den of thieves." Not only was he accusing them, but right there, he was also claiming to be God. Once he'd cleansed his house, what did he do? Verse 14 said, "The blind and the lame came to him in the temple, and he healed them." Parallel passages mention that he taught the people. What a contrast from the chaotic mess that was there before. But that's what Jesus wants to do in our hearts and lives, and only he has the authority to do it. He wants to clean out anything that keeps us from him, then heal us and teach us. Where is he in that process in your life?
You can contact us at treasurehuntintheword@gmail.com. We'd love to hear the treasures God has given you through his word. You can listen to other episodes at our website, which you can find in the description below. Thanks for listening, and remember, where your treasure is, there will your heart be also.